Hi, everyone. So, Dr. Adeshola of TRITEK. Oh my God. I'm so starstruck.
Please stop this.
So, like I said, I've not prepared any questions for this grand opportunity. However, I have so many questions. I'm curious about a lot of things. So, I think the first, question I'll ask is, what even gave you the idea? How dare you? What gave you the idea that you could actually, start a tech academy and see it thrive? Did you even see it thriving when you started it?
No, I didn't. That's the honest answer. 2017, to be precise. Number one, there was not a lot of women in tech. And there were not a lot of women that owned tech companies. So when I started, I was nervous. I was scared. But I'm always a very determined person. Whatever I put my mind to, I give it 110%. So I knew that the moment I got one or two success stories, I think that was the confirmation that I needed to say yes. TRITEK is here to stay.
Okay, so there's the idea and there's the execution. From my experience, that execution is 100.
Yeah.
So did you have to go through a process of, trial and error? Or did you just, have this whole grand, excellent idea with no error? Like, oh yes, this is what I'm going to do and this is how it's going to be.
Listen, even the business plan that we had was just tossed to the side. The budget that we had was £1,500, but it was a lot of trial and error and a lot of mistakes. So many mistakes, from costings to the branding, to social media, to the staffing. But I think that in that moment of those mistakes, we came out stronger and bigger and better.
It's so encouraging to know that, you don't have to start excellent. You don't have to start on 100.
No.
You just have to keep trying. For young professionals, of which I'm one of them, sometimes, we are at that point in our careers where we feel like, does it ever get better? Do I ever climb the ladder to the next stage? And what do I need to do? Some of us have taken trainings. Some of us have taken courses. Some of us have even gone for higher education. And still really stuck, especially in diaspora. And I want to assume that you also had your fair share of the corporate.
I did, definitely.
So what was your secret? How did you navigate all of that?
So let me motivate you by saying that first and foremost, it sounds very cliche, but your mindset is so powerful. I used to be a cleaner. I used to work for Savoy, the Savoy Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel, cleaning about 10 to 15 rooms every single day. But every day that I went into that hotel to clean, I kept telling myself, I'm coming back to that hotel as a guest. And that was the mindset. Sometimes you just have to just take a chill pill and think about, what is it that I like to do? What is it that I don't like to do? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What kind of personality do I have? Because a lot of the time, you might find, for example, a lot of people trying to get into tech, but in actual fact, tech might not even be for them. And I think we all jump on the bandwagon of doing everything because everybody else is doing it. I used to sell hair. I used to do makeup. And I was doing it because everyone was doing it. But was I really passionate about it? No, I wasn't. And I think that's the mistake a lot of us make.
So how many times have you visited that hotel now? As a guest?
The Savoy 3 times. And every time I go to the reception, I hold my head up high and I'm like, I used to work here. And it's the best feeling ever.
Oh my God, that's the best feeling ever. I know that a lot of people that will watch these videos have not cleaned yet. They haven't even gone that low, as to clean. But, that's really great encouragement. You were actually at the lowest.
The lowest, the below it.
And now you have an academy that actually trains people to be bosses at their jobs. So how does that make you feel?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, that's so great.
Because my upbringing as well, I was very rebellious. I was fostered up until the age of 11. So in actual fact, my mom and dad pretty much gave up on me. And then at the very last minute, decided to take me to Nigeria. So everyone has a story. Everyone has an upbringing. Everyone has a challenge. But it's what you do with that negativity. It's how you turn things around. And I'm just so grateful to God.
I can't wait to have that feeling, Dr. Adeshola. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine. How have you been able to navigate life, as an entrepreneur and life as a family person too?
Yeah. I think last year was when I made that decision to have a healthy balance. Up until then, I never used to go on holiday with my kids because I was so wrapped up into trying to, I'm a perfectionist and I want things done a certain way. But then I realized that in a way, not that I was neglecting my kids, but there were certain things that I was missing because I was so wrapped up into my business. What I do now is sacrifice time. I make sure that I have time for my family. Every holiday, every half time, every summer, every Easter holiday, we go away. Doesn't mean that I'm going to keep away from TRITEK entirely. I'll still be waking up in the morning and checking what they're doing. But more family time and more me time, because mental health is real.
Important. Yeah.
And I know so many of you, we're working around the clock, trying to make ends meet. But I realized there was that moment where I was forgetting so many things. And I realized, okay, I need to pause when it's time to pause and just take time out. And it really has helped me a lot.
Yeah, so I had 2 questions from that response. So would you say that, having sacrificed time for family in the beginning of TRITEK, in the beginning time, would you say that was because, you were trying to put strategy in place and all of that in place? Or would you just say it was just you just being very engrossed in trying to be perfectionist or in trying to have everything all set? And I think my second question is, I don't think it's a question, but it's just to also point out the fact that, a lot of people, even though they are in care, they are in whatever they are doing, they just spend all that time in work just to make ends meet, just to make money and, forget the things that are important.
Yes.
So that's a very good point that you did there. Thank you. So would you say, because I'm asking this question for those women, that are newly married or, just have a kid, and just feeling that guilt that, maybe just quit what I'm starting and just focus on my child and my marriage. So what would you say?
Look at it this way. My children and my family are reaping the rewards of that hard work. Don't ever feel guilty because you're working around the clock and you're trying to make ends meet, because at the end of the day, it's for your family in the long run. But I think at the initial stages, I was just so engrossed in TRITEK because I'm a perfectionist. I needed to see the business grow. And I'm one of them people that whatever I put my mind to is 100%. I'm not one leg in, one leg out. I'm 100% focused on that. Yeah.
It's great. So I think this actually encourages me a lot, because it just means that sometimes I get very discouraged when I'm not seeing results. So and I'm sure that you've been at that point where there were no results. You kept trying, and just trying to paint a scenario. Maybe not your case. Probably you started TRITEK. You had just 5 students.
2. In Tottenham, just 2.
I had just 2 students. I would have given up. It would take a lot of, self-reflection to want to keep going. But what was that thing that kept you going?
Do you know what? I think when something you're doing is ordained by God. When I started to get those success stories, I realized that, okay, I'm onto something. And that was the driving force that motivated me to keep pushing. And then I won this award, Woman of the Year 2018. And again, that was what propelled me into wanting more and doing more. Yeah. that award was a catalyst for me.
So recognition actually also counts.
It's so important,
So just find that one thing, that one person that will keep you going, encourage you. And then also find some time to also encourage yourself, because I think that's what really matters.
We need to encourage ourselves. We need to motivate ourselves and not doubt ourselves. I think a lot of us, when I speak to a lot of candidates, they doubt themselves on my accents. I'm hearing people say, oh, I've got a strong Nigerian accent. Or, I just came from Nigeria, or I'm in care, I'm a cleaner. So who's going to hire me? Because, you've got to believe in yourself. I was a cleaner, but I knew that I was not going to be doing that for the rest of my life.
True.
So it's your mindset. You need to change that mindset into believing that you can do better and you must do better.
You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, I don't think, it's going to take, it's going to take a lot for someone else to even start to believe in you. Oh, thank you so much. I feel so motivated. I feel like, I can buy the whole of London City right now. My dreams are still very valid. So are yours. So as you can see, Dr. Adeshola has had her share, and she started from being a cleaner. I really appreciate the fact that you haven't even taken that out of your success story, because that's what actually, makes the story more interesting. And a lot of people just like, no, I don't want to think about the past. But then your past actually, and your present actually, is what makes that success story a lot more interesting and motivate others. So, thank you so much. And I got a gift. Thank you so much, Dr. Adeshola.
Lola, you are amazing. I know this is the beginning of so many things. I just love your drive and what you're doing for the younger community. And it can only go bigger and better from here. And now she's got Mama Hope to guide her along the way. So cheers.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So we're going to have lunch.
And some champagne. Always.